Hi guys, I'll wait for anybody to come into the room. I had a bit of problems then with my live stream. I don't know what was happening, but it was sort of buffering a little bit and stuff. I had some technical problems. I don't know if there was something going on with my Wi-Fi or something like that. So if you can hear me and you can see that everything's working and I'm not buffering or something like that, just let me know if you could. That'd be fantastic. I'll just have to wait for a second to see if there's a few people that can get on. I suppose it's a funny night tonight, isn't it? Because it's Champions League night. It's Dave. Hello, Dave. How are you doing? All good. Good. Thank you. Can you hear me then? Are you not watching the football, Dave? Champions League night. Is this Dave from? Is this the Dave that I speak to from Germany, by the way? If it is, hello, bud. Hi, Al. Is your balance still 3K? Right. That's the big question, isn't it? Yeah, that is the question. I'm going to get into that, but yeah, it is, pal. It is. Do you have a team, Mark? Trading a football team? I'm Man United. We are here at where I live, mate. I live in Congleton, just outside of Cheshire, just on the outskirts of Cheshire. So we're close to Man United. My little boy supports Man United, but I run a team. I run an under sevens team, and I still play myself for a veterans team. I'm over 36, so I play for Congleton Town Veterans. So I still play myself a bit. So I don't really get a chance to go and ever watch a game live because we're always out playing ourselves or my lads playing. So yeah, they lost today. Yeah, gutted. Ollie out. Ollie out. Evening, right. So let me just show you this a little bit, right? This is a live picture of my trading account. Let me see if we can get it working. Check that out. With you and sort of get into the ifs, like why I didn't, what happened at the point in time, what made me not trade, right? Because I aren't like shying away from making a trade. I definitely aren't. I will pull the trigger as soon as I see something that lines up for me, but nothing's lining up for me at all. It just isn't. So I aren't prepared to risk my money if something doesn't feel right. So let me just go through the day's trade with you first of all, just so I can show you what I was seeing. Now, we've had a balance this morning of 51 ticks. So I'll try and keep tonight's a bit more technical so I can just go through the technicals with you of how I see it. 51 ticks this morning. I was thinking to myself, we are definitely going to get some movement this morning. I was looking at it and I thought, right, okay, we could potentially push on higher. But we just never really got any higher. We never really pushed out of balance how I would like to see us push out. I don't like to trade the first leg out of balance. I just don't like to do that. I think it's a sucker's move, and a lot of the time it tends to be a trap. Whether it's algos that push it into you and then trap you. I don't know how it works, but normally the first move out of balance is a trap. I don't like to do that. I like to see a solid leg out of balance first, and then a pullback, and then obviously I will think about executing a long. But there's certain times where I will buy a break out of balance. And it's when you get like a bullish consolidation at one side of balance, and it's been bullish all morning. It's sort of forming like a pennant or a triangle into the height of the balance, and it looks like we're just going to like rip the people who've sold it at the top of balance. We're gonna take them out of the game and take their stops away. So what I mean by like that is, look at this, right? So this is the 7 a.m. high here, and this is the 8 a.m. low. It's a 51 tick balance. Now, I'm thinking to myself as this sets up, the pierce through the bottom doesn't interest me because obviously I don't trade the first leg out of balance. I just don't do it. But when we go up here and obviously this pin bar appears here, I'm thinking to myself, right, so if it was going to go down, we would have gone down here and carried on back into the bottom side of balance, but we didn't. We sort of hung around and hung around and hung around, and I'm thinking to myself, right, this is going to go. Like, I'm thinking if this just consolidates here like so, it's going to go. And I would definitely have got long there. But what happened was, the candle here saved me at 10.15. If that would have been a full green candle, this candle here, where my arrow is, I don't know if you can see it on your charts and go back and look. If this candle here is a full green candle, I am getting long there. I'm going to take that bet that obviously we might even punch higher. We're probably going to go towards these stops here. And if I would have probably held on my trade and it would have gone that way, I would be aiming for these two highs here to sort of scale out at and obviously take profit at if we could have got up there. But we didn't, and this candle saved me. So obviously it's not the most bullish candle, and I'm not a candlestick trader of any sort of type, but obviously it just looked like a trap. Obviously the liquidity above here, and this high here, if it was going to go there, it would have gone, because I would have seen this as like some sort of V bottom, a V bottom sort of formation, and I would have been thinking, right, I can get my stop underneath here. If this would have been full, my entry I wouldn't have minded buying the highs at that point. I would have probably brought 39s and aimed for higher. My stop would have been, below 19s there, and that's acceptable for me. That's a great risk reward. And with us only having a 51 tick balance, the average true range is like 150 to 200. I'd be thinking, right, okay, we could get skates on and we could go up, and take the liquidity above here first, and then obviously head on higher. But it just saved me. This candle did. It really did. Now, what happened after that was we rotated back to the bottom of balance again, right? And I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, now I've got to be careful, because this is a confused day now. I call this a confused day, where we've been up and failed, and where we've been down and failed, and then we've been down again and failed. It's just, these days are just like really, really difficult to trade. And when I said about yesterday is when I put my balance strategy into, when I developed it, these were the days that I would do my arse on. They really would. I'd be trying to buy breakouts both sides. I'd be thinking this is going to go short, and then I'd be like moving my stop to break even, getting stopped out. I'd be trying to buy lows down here, thinking this is going to go back up. I'd be doing loads of trades, and I would have probably got my arse handed to me. I might have made money today, trading my old way many years ago, but I would be madly stressed out. I'd not know what direction it was, and obviously this is the maturity. This is how you develop as a trader. You sort of know when not to get involved in the market. But after that, I nearly got involved again. Very, very close. And I didn't pull the trigger again. Now, let me tell you why I didn't pull the trigger, because this is important to my strategy, right? Now, this candle here was the data candle. Obviously, massive big green candle. But data candles for me are tricky. A lot of the time, they reverse and rotate. And, the sort of the initiative that's taken here, it doesn't stick, and then obviously it gets reversed, and obviously everybody who's in this candle here is obviously puking their positions, and it's just horrible. I don't like trading a data candle. But I was thinking to myself, on this pullback here, we're out of balance now. We've had a nice drive to the upside. This pullback here interested me massively, and I was thinking, right, we could push on there back up to these highs here, and take this liquidity above these highs. But what put me off was, right, look at this period here. This is 155, right? Now at 155, I try and tie my initial balance in with what the American markets are doing at this time, because you have to take it on board, right? The Dow, a lot of the time, does follow what the American markets are doing. So let's go over to the Wall Street cash chart and look at what happened at 155, okay? So I'm thinking here, right, this pullback, I would potentially be looking at getting long in this period here from 155 up to like 1420. But if you look at the Dow, now look at the Dows here, okay? So in this period here, what is the Dow doing? But let's go on to the 1 hour time frame, and let me just show you exactly where we are, right? So if you see this point here, we are bang into resistance here. Yeah, that's the line on the 5 minute chart there. So I'm thinking to myself, right, I could get long here, but the Dow's into resistance. There's a good chance that the volatility alone on the US Open will ping me out of my position, and the chances are of me making money are slim on that entry, especially with where the Dow's sitting, right? So I didn't take the trade because of that, and this is what you get. This is how you how you save yourself like as a trader. Like for me, I've saved myself a couple today. I really have. I should. A few years ago, I would have taken them trades and I would have lost. Now, for me, I only try and trade when I can potentially make money, and today it just didn't line up for me. So they're the reasons behind it. Now, once this has happened here and we've failed and come back into balance again, I just aren't interested in anything. Like I've said to you, once we get back in balance, it's just not for me, this market. I would have potentially taken a trade if the US Open would have been bullish. And the US Open would have been like a bullish opening, and we would have potentially bull flagged here and gone up through resistance. And then what would have happened with the DAX is we would have gone up here, and then on this pullback, the next pullback. So if you're with me, if we would have drove up there on the next pullback, I would have been initiating or trying to initiate along and aiming for those same highs again, and then running it into the close. But it just never happened. It didn't line up. So that's how I try and look at things, and it's all a probability guess of me. Like, if the probabilities just aren't there and things just aren't adding up, I aren't willing to take any trades. And I would have liked to have got a trade on, obviously, to show you guys, but obviously if you check my balance, 3,000. I haven't touched anything, and I'm gonna keep my powder dry until something lines up. So yeah. Has anybody got any questions? Is anybody interested in any of that? Does anybody want me to explain or go over anything in a little bit more detail? You're welcome to jump on the comments. Tell me about how you guys have done. What have you been trading today? Ed. Is that Ed off Twitter who I've been speaking to? Ed. If it is, evening, bud. Flynn, hi, good morning. Good morning. That's good afternoon, good evening, buddy. Good evening, dealers. It's been a long day, trust me. It is, Ed. Hi, buddy. How you doing? You good? So yeah, it all makes a picture for me with the balances. So my ideal trend day. Let me just talk about my ideal trend day for you. My ideal trend day is when the DAX opens up, we get an open drive, we pull back into the US session. The Dow and the Nasdaq, they go for it, and obviously they go into the same move. They're in the bullish mode as well. Now on that day, there's a massive probability that we just smash to the upside and go parabolic right until the close. Now they're my favorite types of day. So it's all a probability, like I've said. If the Dow and the Nasdaq aren't sort of pumping, and the DAX is just breaking into new highs as it was for the day, there's a massive probability that this is probably just a fake run, because you have to sort of weigh everything up. You can't just like go punting into it and not take in the full context of the day. Yeah, ads. I was going to ask how you use higher time frames, but you sort of answered that. Well, yeah, I do really, buddy. It just stuck out to me, that one did. It really did stick out to me, and I know that them types of levels there, they are very good levels, and there's a probability that we will at least see a reaction off them. And people say like, well, why didn't you get short? But that's not my strategy, is it? And you've got to stick to your own individual strategy. Looking back on it now in hindsight, I wish I would have taken the short, but once you start doing that, you can start losing the bigger picture of what you're trying to do. So I just didn't. I just want to stick to my strategy. That's all I want to do. Yeah, I do. That's what a trade day in day out from the bread and butter, Dave. Just this one, really. Do you have a checklist in front of you for taking a trade? I do, and I don't. Obviously, things have to add up to me, which you have to have a smallish balance relative to the previous balances of the week. I have to have a smallish stop. Timing is important massively for me. Like the time of day. Most of my most profitable entries are in between 10 and quarter to 12. So that's big for me. Like if I enter too early in the morning, there's a good chance I will lose money. Watch me get one tomorrow, like 8:45 or something, and do my arse. But yeah, that's how it is. And the reason for that is there's more reversals at that time. It takes an hour or two for a day with real flow to set up. It's very, very unlikely that they just happen. Reversals tend to happen early in the morning. I'm talking like 8 till 9. You'll get a dip down, then a reversal. So if I'm trading too early and I'm trying to trade the flow away from balance, a lot of the time that you can get yourself caught up in one of them reversals and end up getting stopped out. So that's why I try and sort of have a somebody said the other day, like, why are you starting at 8:45? Well, most of my trades aren't before 8:45. The only day I will trade early on is a proper open drive day, where I don't know if you've seen an open drive, but you can Google it. It's just basically where somebody just gets a trade off straight away in the morning and they just buy, and there's like normally a wave up, a really strong drive, then you get a tight consolidation that makes people say it's a bull flag. You could call it a bull flag probably, but I call it an open drive. And then obviously you get another leg higher. I would take that trade every day because that's a fantastic trade to take. Frustrating day for you, Jason, in the footsie. Missed entry at the open. 4 for 2R sin. Right. Took 2 low risk trades at support and resistance which didn't pay off. And then set your stop too tight just after US Open. Had to sit on your hands and watch a 7R move down. Yeah, it's tough, bud. It's tough. It's been a tough day. It's been a couple of tough days, to be honest with you. I haven't got anything to show, but this is the thing. I haven't lost any money, so I'm pleased about that, obviously. But I've just got nothing to show myself. You just got to stick to your strategy, haven't you? You really have in these days, like these sort of times where it just doesn't sort of fall for you. What time zone are you in? The UK? I'm in the UK, mate. So at the moment it's 3 minutes past 9. Great stuff, thank you. Cheers, matey. The Evo Theory, blood from a stone, yeah. Ever touch futures, Mark? I have, to be fair, but with spread betting for me in England, it's just easier. The futures account I had set up was with an American company. I forgot what it was called, but it was a nightmare getting money in and out of there. It was tough to even, you need like all IBAN codes and stuff like that, and just to get the money over there. And I think what happened, this is the maddest thing ever. I ended up doing okay, but because the pound had changed against the dollar when I'd got my money back, I hadn't actually done very well because of the currency obviously swap on it, and my money had been sat in dollars, and I don't know what had happened. I just remember thinking this is ridiculous, with all the fees and stuff like that I had to pay. It was just tough. And then you can just come on with IG, just jump straight into anything. You know your spread size. You're okay with that. It's dead easy to get your money in and out your account. And I just don't see why. For me personally, anyway, I just didn't see why I needed to go through all that hassle to get on the futures markets. But I had tried it. I forgot the company that I tried it with now. I forgot, but I definitely did it. Definitely. Spread betting is tax free. Yeah, it is definitely in the UK. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say to you like I'm a millionaire trader and I've got £1 million of IG. I haven't. What I do with IG is I will, let's say for instance my account is 50 grand. I don't put the 50 grand in IG. No, like I will have like maybe 15 with IG, but I will be trading as if I'm trading a 50 grand account basically. So I've got the money in my bank account that I will put in there if I ever need the margin. If I ever go into drawdown, let's say, I will put the money in there. And the reason that I do that is I will never ever, want to have all of my account or equity stuck with IG, because anything could happen to IG. Now they are regulated and it would be very unlikely, but you never know. So I drip feed my account money as I need to, or withdraw money as I need to, and that's it basically. Yeah, same as say. It's a very grey area, David. It's a grey area in the UK. I've spoken to quite a few people about it, and some people say it is, and some people say it isn't. I know what you're getting at. Don't lie, Mark. You're a millionaire. I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, I see. You see, I do have another income, David. I do have tax returns. I do have another income, but it's not where I am doing this actively every day. But I have got another income from another business that I've got that goes into my self-assessment. So, if that's answered your question, buddy, without getting too deep into personal details online. But yeah, it's not a massive one. Potentially Evo Theory, potentially, yeah. But not at the moment. Like, I haven't made any money. It's Tuesday. There's no money in this for me. None. It's, like, on my live account, I've done exactly the same. There's nothing that I've done any different. I haven't made any trades. None. So, there's nothing for me to do. I am trading this £3,000 account, right? Exactly the same as my bigger account. So, I have not done anything. There's no money here for me. It's rubbish. And this is what exactly I could do with OnlyFans. But this is what I'm trying to do these videos for. This is the whole point. Because people don't put this on. Everybody's, talking about Rolexes and Lambos and not, oh, fuck, I haven't made any money. I'm just being honest. It's tough. I was speaking to another very, very good trader today. Very, very good trader. I won't say his name, right? and he agreed that it's really really tough. He was saying to I was like he's got a big account on Twitter and he is actually a really good trader, and he was just saying like it's such a tough gig. It really is, and people don't go into this side of it. And he said to me like, well done for doing this. You probably you're just being honest, and it's true. That's all I'm being. But people don't see this side of things. They don't, and this is why I'm doing it. Because if one person watches it and thinks, right, okay, this guy spent 11 years doing this shit, and it's Wednesday tomorrow, and he's not earned a bean, and tomorrow he might take a loser and lose money. Like, do you want to get into this? Like, would you be better off doing something else? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you would. How are you finding doing these? Is it helping keep you on track and strict with your strategy, or does it pursue? No, it doesn't put any pressure on me. It's a good point, though. I don't feel any pressure. I'm just, it won't bother me if I lose, to be honest with you. But the reason is, obviously, I have been quite honest all the way through my Twitter account. I don't really lie about things or make out I'm doing well if I'm not. I think it's different for the people that have started off making out that they're ballers and they're doing these trades and it's all brilliant. Like, they have to carry on with that. But I've just been honest from the start. So I think that's helped me out a little bit. Totally agree and really appreciate you doing it. Well, thank you. Yeah, good, Jason. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate your comments, bud. This is the realistic side of trading. It really is. Like, sometimes there's just nothing to do, and then sometimes you just lose money. And like, the best of it is, like, most people who are going to work today or yesterday, they've all made money. Like, they've all done good. Like, their day rate or whatever, I don't know what they're doing. Even going to work in Tesco or McDonald's the last 2 days, I would have earned more money than doing this, and I probably would have had more job satisfaction as well. Because there's no job satisfaction here. Just watching these charts go up and down and watching my alerts go on and say, "Oh, for fuck's sake, it's not moving." But there's nothing you can do about it either. Sitting on a beach for 1 hour a day, yeah, it's fucking absolutely terrible. Has anybody seen this little guy on YouTube who keeps coming up in my comments? Like, oh my god, he's such a little scammer. It's unbelievable. I forgot his name, like Dave or something like that. He is. He's on like when you watch like a YouTube video, he'll pop up before it. He's like he must only be about 18, and he's got a Givenchy. That's how you say it. T-shirt on, as if he's like selling you the dream. It's like, fuck off, mate. You couldn't even trade your way out of a wet paper bag with a hammer, man. He's just such a scammer. It's unbelievable. But they're out there. They exist. These people do. You're clearly a confident guy, and it's awesome you're doing this. Yeah, I am confident. I'm confident that it'll be entertaining. I'm not confident that I'm going to make any money. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, to be fair. It's good. I enjoy meeting people on Twitter. You can't really... I know I can't see you guys, but on Twitter, obviously it's just text, isn't it? I've always been more of a talker. Now, I wish that we could have, like you guys on screen as well, so I could see your faces and we could back and forth. That'd be the ideal situation for me. No fixed income either, really hard work. Yeah. Think you've seen him, ads. Yeah, he's everywhere at the moment. He's another one, right? Like, I don't know if you were in here last night, but I was telling everybody about that Will Brown guy. Like, WB trading. That guy scammed me. He really did. I don't know if I finished it off yesterday, but I did buy his course. It was 399 quid. And I back tested it all, and his results were completely wrong. And his strategy didn't make money. The months where he was saying he was like 15R up, he'd faked his results. And it was like dead easy to spot. So I questioned him about it and sent him emails in saying like, look, mate, this doesn't line up. You're saying that this strategy is to do this, and do this. But when I've back tested it myself and gone through your results and done this and this and this, like, it doesn't fucking make any money. You would have been stopped out there. You would have been stopped out there. You would have been stopped out there. And you would have been like break even for the month. And he went quiet on me for ages. And I ended up sending him a message saying, I'm going to obviously get in touch with my credit card company, because I brought it with my credit card because I thought, if this is fucking fake, sorry for swearing, if this is fake, I can get my money back. So it was with American Express. I rung them and they sent me an email saying, yeah, we'll do a claim back on it. So I sent him that email, and literally within about 15 minutes my money had come back into my account. So this is what you're up against. The screen wouldn't blow from my ugly mug. It wouldn't. Like, No, like Babe Station. Yeah, let's do it. I can put a bikini on, it won't be pretty. If we can't be confident that we will make money, I guess it's important to be confident you won't lose more than our stop, assuming our stops are sound. Yeah, so that's what I try and do. Be very picky, and that's what I said to you last night about Tom Dante. He knows when not to trade. Like I feel like I've got that now. I've sort of, I've seen the tricks and stuff like that get played, the traps that happen. I feel like I've got that. That's something that I've achieved through sitting there and watching it. And I actually think that that's when you start turning the corner, really, because you can give someone the best strategy in the world, but if they don't know how to trade it properly and they don't know the little nuances of it, of when it might not work, it's very, 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 very tough, really. But you have to have the experience of knowing not when to trade, and that only comes from sitting there and trading, which can take years. It took me years. I was close to buying a WB strategy and all, but sorry, got outed on Twitter. Yes, exactly right. And somebody did out him, and yeah, so that's good. This is another reason why I'm on here doing this, to help people from stopping people paying these guys any money. They are, and like if you're having anybody to teach you doing anything, get the statements off them or get a live account off them that can't be faked. If you notice, a lot of the scammers, they do live accounts on MT4. And as I said in my first video, there is a video on YouTube. Has anybody seen it about the broker login? So if you have, put your thumbs up. And I'll tell you about it if you haven't, because it's very, very interesting. It really is. So the broker login is on MT4. This is what Astro are doing, right? This is Astro's like how they con people into thinking that they can trade. They have a broker login. Yeah, so they log in and just literally go long the pound and can go back in time and put entries and exits in, and basically it looks like they're absolutely milking it, and they're not. They've got the broker login. Them guys are on there, so it's ridiculous. It's all just so fake. What other little scams that I've got to tell you about? There's so many of them. It's unbelievable. I actually think what Astro are doing, though, this is what Astro are doing. This is how Am and Nat's making so much money. Listen to this, right? This is what I think he's doing. He's actually taking, when you send him a message at the moment, he's saying to you that if you invest your money, 10 grand or 20 grand into their firm, he will pay you out if you win. Now, I imagine what he's doing is he's got this broker login going on, and he's making out to the traders that he might have 50 traders there who've all given him 20 grand. He's making out to them traders that their money is going into Astro's broker account, but they're trading demo thinking they're trading live. But he's actually not entering the market for them. He will be doing it by demo, and because so many of them do their arse and lose the money, but he'll say, well, it's their money, and so he might get 2 or 3 out of 20 that make a profit, and he will pay them out of the money that the other traders have lost and given him. So let's say you go there and he says, right, okay, if you got 10 grand, okay, put it into our account. I'll give you this live account, which is demo. You do your arse and lose your 10 grand. That 10 grand stays in his account, right? And because most people lose rather than win, he's creaming all of that money off the top, and he's paying out the few people that win, knowing that it's highly likely that within 2 months they're probably going to give it him back anyway because they'll lose. Because not many people, the shit that he teaches, not many people are going to make any money. They're not. They're going to obviously do their arse. So people go in there, throw the 20k in, and within 6 months they've done it. They're out. They're lost. They've lost, but he's kept that money, and he's secretly had them trading demo. Now, what an amazing idea that is if you're a scammer. Like, he must be making so much money, it's unbelievable. Because all of their losses are his profit. So when they're losing and doing their arse all day, that's all of his profit. Think about that. It's just fucking unbelievable. So that's why he's driving in a Rolls Royce. That's why he's got a Lamborghini Aventador. That's why he's got a Lamborghini Urus, because obviously that's how much money everybody's losing. Like, think about it logically. They're all people's losses. You know, when they're losing 500 quid, a grand a day or whatever it is, that's all going into his account. Because none of them win. You're not telling me that with the shit that they teach, any of them win. And if they do, it's lucky. It's just a lucky day, and he knows that by next week they'll have done their arse again. So it's happy days. But he's clued up. Obviously, he's obviously a very clever businessman. Amin, that is. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a mug because he's not. Obviously, I haven't got them cars. I'm not driving around Mayfair, with Hermes shit on. I'm not. Would I do that though? No, I wouldn't, because morally for me, I would just feel like an absolute twat, and I'm not that type of person. But for him, if that's what he thinks that makes him happy, then so be it. But I don't think any good karma will come of it. I really don't. You'll get undone sooner or later. But that's definitely what's happening. Definitely. They should be getting nicked for that. Well, yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I'd love to see him behind bars, to be honest with you. I was following a girl doing just that and almost believed her until I threw that up on Twitter. Loving the scam stories. Yeah, that's it. There's so many of them though. That's the sad thing about this industry. I've 7 months live after 6 months demo and only just getting that feeling of when to stay away, although I still jump in sometimes. We all do, buddy. That you'll get through that though. That when you jump in and you lose too many times, that'll stop happening. That's FTMO's business model. Exactly. I think it could be. I said about them last night. Worst industry for scams, certain age range of groups. Yeah, 16 to 30s. Why is that? Because most of them are obviously, wanting... It's Instagram, isn't it? They go on Instagram, they see everybody doing really well, all these expensive clothes and holidays. And you want a bit of that, don't you? You do want a bit of it if you're a young lad. You don't want to be on a building site learning a trade, getting dust in your face and all over you, paint all over you maybe. You don't want that. That's hard work. So you think that this lifestyle exists, and it doesn't. It doesn't. It does for the people who sell it, yeah? That's a great lifestyle for them. But for, like I always say, I'd love to go down After Effects and ask all the students what they drive. That would be an interesting one. He's come on a bike, he's come on a Fiat Panda. His mum's dropped him off. He's ran here because he's late from McDonald's, his shift's finished late. But Amin Nat's pulled up in a Rolls Royce. Right, okay, well done, brilliant. Sign me up, take my money. Well, have you got any personal horror stories of trading where it just went wrong? Loads, mate. Loads. Absolutely loads. Yeah. I've had some really bad days, to be honest with you. Just doing stupid things where I thought I knew what I was doing when I didn't. I had no edge though. This is the thing. Like I had no edge, and this is what I want to try and get you guys doing. Like, have you got any edge? Or are you just obviously riding your coattails a little bit? And I used to look back even when I'd made money and I didn't know how I'd done it. That was a big warning sign for me. Like, I'd be fighting with the market all day trying to force it. On days like today, by the way, like this type of day. And I'd just be fighting it all day. But I'd end up with a profit. And I thought that I knew what I was doing. And I thought that, I'd always be able to get myself out of a bad situation. But I couldn't. And eventually it just all catches up with you and you end up having a bad day. And you can sort of go through that for 3, 4 months, 5 months thinking, I know what I'm doing here. But then one bad day wipes you out and you realise then you don't know what you're doing. And this used to happen to me a lot. As I said, I've had loads of bad days. I really have, loads of them. I don't have any bad days anymore though, none. Like, my risk is in check. It always is for me, because obviously you turn the corner and you realise that it's not really about knowing what's going to happen next. It's just about controlling your risk and being in it for when the market goes your way. That's all it's about. Like, I don't really know what the DAX is going to do on any given day. I might have, an inkling. I might guess right, but nobody really knows what's going on. They don't. You can only control your risk, and you can control your profits. That's it, really. And what I mean by that is, you can control how long you are going to run your profits for. You can. I know. I don't control the market, but there's certain, with my strategy, I know that on a day that looks like a trend day, I'm very highly likely going to cut myself short if I take profit too early, because trend days, the days that are my best days, finish at the high or low of the day, right? So if I'm taking profits or I'm, tapping out of my position before that time, and it looks like a trend day, I'm just basically costing myself money. And that's what I mean by running my profits on the right days. So that's something that I try and do. But I would love to show you that when it happens, and I will do. We will get one eventually, and I will show you definitely. His mum's dropped him off. Exactly, yeah, exactly. That is what they do, though, dude. Astro. There's loads of them out there, though, isn't there? There's loads of them. It's sad, like I say, but there is loads of them. I just it drives him bad. But yeah, let's get back to Edge, right? Let's just go over some Edge quickly. So for me, how do you know that you've got any Edge? Like, are you guys discretionary, or do you have any indicators or anything like that you use to trade off? Let me know in the comments. Or are you just completely discretionary, where every day you come into the market, you might trade different types of setups, you might trade breakouts one day, reversals the next, you might trade different markets, different time frames. Like, how are you guys trading? Like, for me, I found that I didn't really know whether I was coming or going when I was doing that, being total discretionary. It was tough, it really was. And like I said, I did make money. Price action discretionary, but pretty rule based. Yeah, so you've still got some certain rules. I think you have to. It's the only way that you can sort of get any mental clarity when you're in the heat of battle, I think. Use double tops or double bottoms with confirmation, RSI, MACD. So, yep. Currently collecting data on the FTSE 8M Open, as I think I've found Edge there, and collecting the data on the way to refine it, etc. Okay, right. So, what are you thinking about with the FTSE Open then, John? What are you collecting data on? What parameters are you looking at? Are you looking at reversal? Are you looking at a drive? Are you looking at just taking a breakout? PA and rule based. Use FA as a filter. Right. Okay. So you wrap a few things into your trading strategy. I think you have to. Was rule based, but now try an algo. Right. Okay. See, so this is where I am. I have to see certain entry criteria, like today, and it's not happened for me. Certain things, and it does keep you out of the market. That's what they're designed to do for. So this is why we add these types of rules, and it's because you don't want to put yourself in the situations where, like I said yesterday, like if you're a bad golfer and you don't like bunkers or you don't like water, it's a rule for you to not take a driver off a tee where there's water and there's bunkers close, like where you'll be hitting into those, and there's a good chance that you might put your drive out of bounds or in the water in a bunker. Like, the rule for you would be to use an iron off the tee, and it's the same with trading. So you put rules in to keep you away from, obviously, the shit that you're not very good at. Like, you can't deal with that type of trade, or that's why I have rules. That's why I have a mechanical initial balance type bias for days like today, and it saved me, obviously, because it just didn't set up right. But obviously, if you were trading the breakout of this balance here today, you would have been short here, you would have been stopped out, and you would have been long here, and you would have been stopped out again. So, this is why I don't just trade the breaker balance. I think I look at too many markets and need to narrow it down a bit. Yeah, well, that was my problem, Mattia. It was like too much. Jack of all trades and master of none. And I'm not saying I'm a master, I'm not, but just by focusing every day, that's what obviously made me turn the corner. Being discretionary is tough because it's hard to know what you did well when times are good and what you did wrong when times are tough. Yeah, I agree with you completely. I really do. Some people are very good discretionary traders, though. I'm not saying it doesn't work for some people. There's people out there who must be making millions of pounds by being discretionary, but that just wasn't me. I needed something to lean on, a guide. I just did. Breakout retest at decent levels, scout ranges following decent expansion days, fake outs to the other side of clear structures. Yep, that all sounds good to me. Looking for the open drive in either direction based on 7 a.m. Right, so that's the initial balance then, the FTSE balance, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m, the candle just before the open. Yeah, that's it. And obviously, you can backtest that, John, because obviously the data's set for that balance. This is why I like the balance so much, because it doesn't it can't be faked and it doesn't move. So every day, I know exactly, go back to any day, 5-10 years ago, you can look, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. High, low, it's there. Have you explained that balance in your previous videos or in that one? Yeah, so it's all there, Nicolay, but basically it's just the 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. UK. So In the UK, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. If you're not in the UK, it'll be a different time for you, but it's the UK 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. time zone, and it's the high and low of that price action range. So you bracket it off with a horizontal resistance and a horizontal support there. So you can see today that that's the high. Yeah, and you can see today that that's the low. So I just bracket that off and I don't trade in between. I have explained it in the previous video though. I've been trading 5-minute opening range break, but I'm going to test this week of how much of a difference if it makes if I don't take the trades when the IB is large after watching yours. Have a look, Change, yeah. Have you been making money with that though? You know, your 5-minute opening range break. How are you trading it? Are you just trading the first candle that goes through it? So, you know, like if you're taking the first 5-minute range breakout today, so you would have been short there at 8.20. Is that correct? Have you been doing well with it? I found that what I found when I back tested just the first breakout of the initial balance, it wasn't profitable. You might have a different entry than me though, but if I was just back testing the actual break of it, the first candle, and let's say I would put my stop above the candle that broke the balance, there wasn't any profit in it. I think I back tested as well the mid range of balance, so your stop would always be on the mid range if it breaks out one side, and I don't think there was any actual profit in it, and I back tested it for a long time. I can't remember the actual results, but let me know, bud. How long you spend on the screens per day, Mark? I have alerts in, like I said, Dave. So today my alerts have been getting off all over the place because I've spent quite a lot of time in front of the screen today because I thought, obviously, I think I had an alert set here. I was thinking that we could push up. I think I had an alert set here. I thought we could push down. Then I set another one for around this area on the balance break, thinking, and I think it alerted me on this candle, and I thought we were going to get the push up. Then when we went back down, I think I put one here and had another alert and had to run back in. So I've had loads of alerts going off today, but no trades. But Dave, to answer your question, when I'm in a trade, I don't look at it. Once I enter the trade, I will have an alert for my stop, and that's it. And I'll have an alert for 2R where I move my stop to break even, and then I'll leave it. Why do I do that? I am very tempted a lot of the time. You know, I am only human, and I will start trying to come up with different explanations for why I should take my profit at 2R. I'm bad for it, seriously. So I just have to take yourself out of that situation, and that's the rule that I put in. So I don't look at it. If I enter a trade, an alert goes in, my stop goes in, and an alert at 2R to move my stop to break even, and that's it. I try not to look at it, because it's very, very tempting if you get a red bar or what looks like a reversal to mess with your position, and I find that messing with it costs me money. So yeah, once I'm in, I don't like to look. Have you tested trading reversals outside the IB in the large IB days? Change, yes. Right, so there is a strategy that I've got, right, that's good, and it just has a lot of losing days. But when you get it right, it absolutely smashes it out of the park. So if you get, let's say this here is the initial balance. That's the high, that's the low, and when it's set this morning at 7 to 8, this candle here, if you trade the first pin out of the initial balance, let's say you drive up there and you get a pin bar. If you were to just take the short there, no, you wouldn't take this candle because the risk to reward to the bottom of balance when this candle finishes isn't there. But if you get a small pin bar here, and let's say it's in the first hour of trade, if you were to just take that trade there with the pin bar and put your stop above it and leave it all day until 9 p.m. at night time, the R is huge on the days where it just literally falls all day. Or in reverse, it would be if we went through this side of balance first and we hadn't pinned that high and we were just consolidating here, and then we pin the bottom of that balance, get a pin bar, like if this pin bar would have been the first rotation out and we would have just closed back in, it's highly likely that that's the low of the day, and it's highly likely that the high of day is going to be at 9 p.m. So if you're risking like this much, let's say for instance the pin bar is this much, so it's 74 and the 61, right? So you would have had a 14 tick stop. You would have entered after the pin bar finished, if it closed back in balance there, let's say, and you would have run it. And then now, if that's the low of the day, and the average range of the DAX is say 200 ticks, and you're using a 15 tick stop, you can imagine the types of R that you get. But the problem with it is the win rate's terrible. Now, some people can't handle that win rate, you know, like when you're getting like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 losers on the road, but then you have a 15 R day. So, but that is a profitable strategy. I've back tested it. I don't trade it, but it is profitable. And I'll explain properly in another day for you. Change, definitely. Dante used to do that for keeping trades on small accounts. Did you grow your account from small, or just start with a decent large account that you live off? Right, so a bit of both really. I had a certain amount of capital that I lost for the first 3 or 4 years of me trading, then give up my garages, and sort of had a year where I treaded water, and then obviously I trusted myself with some more money, and then for the last maybe 4 or 5 years I've been growing my account, but I have to live out of my account as well, Dave. So I use you know, like I have bills and stuff that I have to pay. I do have some other income coming in from something else, but it's not a lot of money. It's not massive, so I do have to earn money off this basically to live. So now with me, my account sort of stays the same. This is hopefully what I'm using this for though as well. Like to tell you a little story. This is what I'm using this for, right? So I would like in the future if somebody would you know, trust me with a prop account, or you know, if I could send this to a prop firm in London, this video, and like they can watch me hopefully taking this account from 3,000 to 6,000 to 9,000 to 12, you know, who knows, I'm just going to run it, and that could be proof of that I can trade. Like it's all documented, like I haven't got to go and tell anybody, like I can just show them these videos. So maybe that will be something that I will look at. That's what I've thought about, you know, a part of why I'm doing it as well, maybe to hopefully get more capital one day. Someone could back me. I know a few people who've got people who back people, but a lot of the time, you know, with these backers, they do push you a little bit, and I've heard that they do try and get you to take trades, and they want you to leverage up and stuff like that because they want you to earn more money. But maybe that wouldn't suit me. I don't know, but it's something that I would think about, definitely. Yeah, it's not like that. The Evo theory, it's tough, mate. Honestly, I know. Same as say, I've already got that. I really have, but it's the R rate and stuff like that, and the leverage that they want you to take. It's not as simple as like these firms that back you with the big money and stuff like that. They want to earn money. I've spoken to a lot of people who've had backing off serious backers, and a lot of the time it's not as smooth sailing as you think. These people are like really like into like risking a lot of money. Like they want you to smash it. Like if you think that you can you know, trade at 1% or 2% and you winning, they'll keep trying to say like, no, go to 5, go to 6%. But it's difficult to deal with then. You know, it puts a lot of pressure on you. It's somebody else's money, and these people who've got lots of money, they tend to be like sharks, and they're not, you know, I'm not saying that they're not nice or anything like that, but they can put a lot of pressure on you, emotionally, mentally, to keep winning. Now, I don't know if I could be okay with that. I don't know. But it's something that I would look into, definitely. As long as you have 4 to 8 months. Yeah, I've read that. Sorry, Dave. So guys, so I think I'll probably leave it here, right? I'll leave this one with you. I'll go downstairs now and have a cup of tea and say hello to the wife. But it's been good talking to you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully tomorrow we will have a trade. Would you consider a match funding system? I don't know what that is. Evo theory. Sorry, buddy. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just being dumb, I don't know. I know people who've been backed on Twitter, by the way, some big traders, some big accounts, and it's never worked out for them, and these guys can trade. Like, I know a few of them who are big accounts, who aren't scammers, who can trade, and they've been backed and it's just not worked out for whatever reason. Now, that worries me. That does worry me. Now, there's various reasons for it, but it's not all plain sailing. You know, these people who've got millions of pounds to give you. Yes, it all sounds good in theory, but you know, these guys are hungry for money. Like, they want you to be smashing the markets. They put a lot of pressure on you. You know, there's high stakes involved, and you know, they're the kind of people that are alpha male control types, and you know, they're gonna put a lot of pressure on you. You have to sort of think about that side of it as well. Thank you, Abe's. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'll get off then, guys. So I will put this onto Twitter. Sorry, onto YouTube as a video. So if you get a notification that there's a new video on it, it will just be this one. I'm just people keep asking me where the lives are, where the videos are, but to get a live on as a recording, I have to add it on and put it on. So if you get a notification that there's another one come up, it will just be a recording of this one. All right, but thank you. Really enjoyed it tonight. Hopefully we'll get something tomorrow. Have a good night. Take care. Thank you very much, guys.